I'm Jono. HolaVPN versus TurboVPN. Let's see what's actually going on under the hood.
In the same week of March 2026, two Reddit users posted panic threads about two different free VPNs. One thread was about Hola, the other was about TurboVPN. The community responses across both threads were almost identical. Uninstall, assume data is gone, factory reset if possible. The reasoning underneath those responses was almost completely wrong because Hola and TurboVPN fail in two different ways. And treating the two products as interchangeable is how users end up choosing the wrong one for the situation they installed it to handle. On the surface, both look like alternatives to each other. Both are free, both are marketed as one-tap privacy tools, with hundreds of millions of combined installs between them. One layer down, they are not alternatives at all. Hola turns the user's connection into infrastructure for strangers. TurboVPN routes the user's trust through a corporate chain that ends somewhere the About page does not mention. Hola Networks was founded in Israel in late 2012 by Ofer Vilensky and Derry Shribman, two engineers who had built Israeli software businesses together before, including a networking company called Jungo. Their bet was that a free VPN did not need a server farm at all. The users themselves would be the infrastructure. Every install became a node in a peer-to-peer network, with idle bandwidth on each device routing other users' traffic in exchange for the same service in return. By 2014, Hola had built Luminati Networks, a division that sold access to the Hola user network as residential proxies. In 2017, Luminati's majority stake was sold to EMK Capital. In 2019, Luminati was rebranded as Bright Data, now one of the largest residential proxy businesses in the world. TurboVPN solved the same commercial problem with the opposite architecture. The product launched around 2014 to 2015 as a mobile-first, one-tap app. The Singapore entity that the About page names as Operator, Innovative Connecting Private Limited, was not formally registered until 2018, a 4-year gap that makes the early ownership history harder to trace from public records. TurboVPN is also not a standalone product. Innovative Connecting publishes at least 4 other VPN brands alongside it, including VPN Proxy Master, Solo VPN Pro, Snapmaster VPN, and TurboVPN Lite. The commercial problem was identical for both companies. How does a free VPN pay its bills without selling subscriptions? Hola answered by renting out the user's bandwidth through Luminati. TurboVPN answered by renting out the user's attention through an in-app advertising network. Same problem, two opposite bills. Hola first. May 2015, a security researcher disclosed that Hola's peer-to-peer network had been used in a denial of service attack against a website called 8chan. The attacker had paid Luminati for bandwidth, the way any commercial customer would, and that bandwidth came from Hola's free users, whose internet addresses appeared as the source of the attack traffic. The same disclosure documented multiple client vulnerabilities, including code execution and privilege escalation. CSO Online quoted researchers calling the architecture unfixable by design. CNET called it an insecure botnet. The Verge ran the story. 2018, Hola's Chrome extension was compromised and used to redirect users to a phishing page targeting a cryptocurrency wallet service. March 2026, a community report flagged a cryptocurrency miner inside the Hola directory. That specific allegation is unverified. The pattern was already established. TurboVPN's controversial chapter is a different category entirely. Not a dramatic incident with a single news cycle, a sustained disclosure gap. In 2025, the Tech Transparency Project published reporting linking TurboVPN's developer chain to Qihu 360, a Chinese cybersecurity company that the United States Department of Defense has designated as a Chinese military company. The chain runs from TurboVPN to Innovative Connecting, to a developer connected to that entity that was acquired by a company linked to Qihu 360. What TurboVPN's About page discloses is Innovative Connecting, Singapore. The Qihu 360 connection appears in the reporting, not in the official materials. Community reports from August 2025 and January 2026 documented unexpected charges and pop-up behavior, consistent with adware flags raised by independent reviewers at WizCase in 2025. Two different risk categories. Hola's is architecture risk, TurboVPNs is jurisdictional risk. The product works as designed in both cases, and the design is the problem in different ways. Protocol support first. Hola's free tier runs on the peer-to-peer routing layer, which is not a conventional VPN protocol in the way the category defines one. The paid tier uses more standard protocols. TurboVPN supports OpenVPN, IKEv2, L2, TP over IPS, EC, and SSR. Neither product supports WireGuard, the modern standard that the rest of the category has adopted as a baseline. That is the same gap from two different directions, and it tells the viewer where both products sit on the spectrum between a consumer app and a privacy tool. The logging comparison is where the two policies diverge sharply. Hola's privacy policy is, to its credit, openly non-private. It discloses that the service logs the user's internet address, operating system, browser, the pages visited, the time spent on those pages, and retains that data for 12 months. Hola does not claim to be a no-log service. TurboVPN does claim to be no logs for browsing activity and originating addresses, which sounds better on the surface, except the same policy permits collection of bandwidth used, the user's internet service provider, the specific server connected to, and session timestamps. Those 4 data points, combined over time, are enough to fingerprint a user. The comparison is that Hola discloses more and promises less, while TurboVPN discloses less and promises more. Audit status is the third asymmetry. Hola has no independent full privacy audit in the public record. TurboVPN markets a Google Play Independent Security Review badge, which is a narrow scope check, not the kind of full privacy audit that firms like Cure53 or Deloitte produce for serious commercial VPNs. The audit gap is the same in practice for both products. Neither has been examined to the standard the category considers a minimum for a privacy tool. The common answer to a comparison like this is neither use a real VPN. That answer is correct for many viewers, but it is also a way of refusing to do the comparison the title promised. The useful question is which of these two is the wrong tool for which user, because the risk categories are different, and the mismatch between user and risk category is where the actual harm lands. Hola's architecture risk is worse for any user whose internet address has professional or legal consequences. A freelancer whose address could be associated with a stranger's browsing, a remote worker on a corporate network where exit node traffic could trigger security flags. Anyone for whom an internet address appearing as the source of a stranger's traffic is a serious problem rather than a theoretical one. For that user, TurboVPN's jurisdictional risk is the lesser of two evils, because the data collection is at least contained within the app rather than routed through the user's own connection. TurboVPN's jurisdictional risk is worse for any user whose threat model includes state-level actors or corporate ownership concerns. A journalist, an activist, a business user handling information a foreign intelligence service might value. Anyone for whom the answer to which government could compel disclosure of this data under their own laws is a question with a real operational consequence. For that user, Hola's architecture risk is the lesser of two evils, because the exposure is technical rather than jurisdictional, and the attack surface is at least legible. For the casual user with no sensitive data on the device, no professional liability from their address, and a one-time need to watch a region-locked video, both products will do the job the free tier advertises. That is a real user segment, and pretending it does not exist is the failure of most comparison videos. The failure of this one would be refusing to answer the question the title asked. The risk categories are different. The right match depends on which one applies.